Hello and welcome to Krasnoyarsk, Russia. Locals claim that none other than Anton Chekhov himself said that it's the most beautiful city in Siberia. And of course, the great writer and his books may be found in one of Krasnoyarsk's 53 libraries. Not only do people here indulge in the stunning nature and literature, but sport as well. Proud to host this year's World Junior Curling Championships 2020 in the Crystal Ice Arena. We are down to the last game of the women's round robin as we hear the national anthem of Denmark being played, pumping them up as they play Russia this evening. Let's meet the teams. For Russia, at lead, Anastasia Mishenka. At second, Irina Rizanova. Third, Vera Tulyakova. And team skip for Russia, Vlada Rumyantseva. For Denmark, at lead, My Larsen. At second, Karolina Jensen. Skip and third this evening, Jasmin Lander. And playing fourth stones, Mathilde Halse. We take a look at the standings after 8 sessions. Korea, Canada, Russia already pre-qualified, so it's a dogfight for the last spot into the semi-finals. Denmark, Japan and Switzerland all with a chance, while Latvia, Sweden, Norway, Hungary make out the bottom 4. All games in the arena this evening. Canada take on Korea, Japan will play Hungary, Switzerland to play Latvia, and then we have a neighbourly battle between Sweden and Norway just next door. Lots of playoff implications this evening. We'll try to keep you up to date on what happens. It's certainly quite a few scenarios to go through here. What is clear is Denmark really need a win here. I'm Sander Olvang, joined by Rona Howie. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Sander.
So much can happen, and with just one game left to play.
Absolutely, it's great excitement. It's always good. You've played, it's your 9th game in the round robin, and it's still all to play for.
Russia will be probably pretty comfortable coming into this game, knowing they'll play a semi-final either way. But they will like to play for the win, of course. They always do, but the higher rank could give them an easier semi-final. We see the draw shot challenge there. Russia with last stone coming into the game, so Denmark to start. And lead for Denmark, My Larsen. Throws the first stone here. Slight lineup change for Denmark. Same players, but Jasmin Lander at the head, skipping this evening, I believe, struggling with a bad shoulder. So just making that switch, that could be all different for Denmark tonight. Of course, you'd prefer that consistency, as we see Anastasia Mishenka opt for the open hits. How do you think the Danish team will react to having to make that change? Does it make a big difference?
It does, but I think they've played enough together this week. They know each other, they know the game, and they're still going to call the same tactically. The Halse is still on the ice, so it's not like the skip's gone off the ice. It's probably harder for the skip to now have to sweep.
We see neither team taking advantage of the free guard zone at the start of this first end. Also, other rules. Teams will have thinking time. Don't want to run out of thinking time. You'll lose the game. Timeout is available to the teams if necessary. Can't remember any teams really struggling too much on time. I've certainly seen that happen more in the past. It seems teams are getting pretty used to playing with thinking time. Certainly introducing time clocks to national championships is helpful. So we're kind of used to that coming into a world championship. Here's Carolina Jensen. Certainly has a bit to live up to. Carolina, mother Angelina and Camilla Jensen won a silver medal at the Worlds in 2007. Irina Rizanova, reigning world champions, the Russian team, putting themselves into the playoff once again. Just able to carry that past the guard into the top 8.
Он просто очень хотел здесь. А я вообще не делала плюс. Правильно. А ты услышала, что я сказала? Нет. Окей. А ты сказала, что? Да, типа все.
That works out really well for Denmark. Gets a stone in behind cover.
А ударить не нравится? Не нравится? Зачем? Наш ближе.
How's it going to feel for Russia coming into this game, knowing they're already in the playoffs? Can they just play without pressure and enjoy themselves? Or do you think there's still pressure to win and get that third rank?
Yeah, definitely. You want to finish as high up the rankings as you can, and you also want to finish the round robin on a good performance and take that performance into the semi-final. If you don't come out shooting your best, that's not what you want before you're playing the knockout games. So it's nice to have that cushion that you have qualified. You still want to put in a good performance out there.
Jasmin Lander. Early sweep here. Try and hold the line past the guard. Will wreck, but also redirects onto a red stone, ends up top 4.
Okay. Мне нравится попробовать, да. Тут прямо идет. Не помните? Нет, против. Только аут прямо идет.
Vera Tuliakova played lead for the team last year, taking over at third for Morozova. Played third last year. Makes a little hit and check here. That's a real good shot. Gets half buried behind that yellow. Nice stagger on those stones now for Russia.
Yep, happy with that, she said. I'll take it.
Du skal bare tage den med en elver. Den forreste med en elver!
Den er der ikke! Den er der ikke!
Den røde der med elver over! Ja!
Samme fart!
Samme fart!
God form!
Yep.
Ja!
Wow!
Ja!
Yep.
God form! Rent!
Wow!
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 Karolina!
Wow!
Ja, Karolina!
Den er klar!
Ja!
Ja! Ja!
Wow, klar.
Helt ud med den.
Helt ud, helt ud, helt ud. Helt ud, okay.
Just enough to chip the red out.
Du skal ikke være sikker på det der ud. Ja, det var lige tæt nok, synes jeg. Ja.
Нет, давай сразу ролл! Сюда. Давай.
Lige have lidt mere at leve på. Nu
Тут
ligger der
вроде не
3
очень хорошо валит. Может быть, тогда бортом попробуем? Давай борт.
Да, борт плюс сделаем.
Вау, можно поднять. Настя. Настя. Настя, 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 Настя.
Не бери ролл.
To there, Kova makes the hit. Checks over to the wing. Russia lie 3, but very in the open. Not a lot of pressure on Denmark. Still a guard in play.
Men vi kan godt prøve det for min skyld. Kommer ikke derover. Nej,
Er der en dobbelt der ved siden?
Men det kommer til at være
Er
tættere.
dobbelt derude?
Nej.
Der er ikke nogen dobbelt.
Nej, der er ikke nogen dobbelt.
Altså, medmindre vi gør sådan.
Hvis vi er så er der også 2 ude, ikke?
Ja. Ikke bare gøre sådan her.
Could hit the open. That'd be conceding the end and taking your one. Or, pardon me.
Bare prøv at se, om vi har en dobbelt næste gang. Måske en dans.
Could hit the red, try and roll in behind cover. So we're talking about the double, but
Поэтому я хотела
pretty long one.
Ну, я поняла. Нет, четко мне нравилось.
They are hitting. Good freeze. Be risky. Probably the best result.
Ну, я не старалась.
But even if you make it perfect, there's still a chance you
Wow! Wow!
get a big end scored against you. Matilda Halset.
Wow! Ja! Ja! Wow!
Maybe nose hit here and then hope for a nose hit back. Maybe get a better angle at the double as possible. Just hoping for the roll though.
Yeah, Russia will be quite happy. Everything's open.
Просто стей. Да, просто стей.
Jeg tænkte bare, når hun sagde Karolina videre, så var det på højre side.
Don't think they want to roll in behind the guard here. They'll be just back at T-line, allowing Denmark to come and freeze. Probably nose hits, pretty good. Vlada Rumiantseva.
Легче. Легче. Легче.
Легко.
Легко. Можно поднять. Можно поднять.
Настя, 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 Настя.
Настя. Да.
Well set right there, so still the angle pretty tough for a double for Denmark. Might see them play the hit and roll again.
Ногами чуть-чуть поменьше. Плюс
Or they could try just double 2 reds on the wing. Make sure they only give up 2.
Yeah, they're looking at that for damage limitation, really. A hit and roll would be a great result, because they can lie short guarded.
Dobbelen er meget flad.
Okay. Ja. Prøv at rulle om bag den gule der. Hvis den er der, så kan vi jo risikere, at hun bliver tvunget til en, ikke? Jo.
Make the perfect hit and roll here. Could force the end. On the sweep early. Past the guard, yes, on the red. No, barely. Just the tiniest chip. And Russia lie 3 with 1 stone to spare. And they can draw anywhere for 4.
Wow, big mistake there.
Quite the nightmare start for Denmark. And such an important game as well. Team Russia, last stone, first end, hit a house anywhere. Put a 4 on the board. Sweepers just dusting this one in. And this looks good for the 4. A huge start for home team Russia. They will lead Denmark by 4 points, but still 9 ends to go here, so nothing decided yet.
Себе, если мы в дом.
Lidt alene det her. Det må man sige. Altså, du skal også være dum, vi ligger garden, må jeg sige. Det er mere til at gå rundt om deres kronegard, bare ligesom.
Лучше едет. Можно. Умница, отличный вес. Какой спокойно, 4. Свип! 6. Будет садиться. Свип! Да. Он уже садится. Да. Сейчас сделай начало хотя бы. Да. Давай. Еще сделай.
Second end, Russia, Denmark. It's a 4-point lead already for the Russians. Haven't seen too many big ends this week, but Russia, they have actually scored a 4 3 times already this week coming into the game. Being a 4th, no other team has scored that many 4-enders.
Wow, kig lige om. 2.
So when Russia score, they prefer to score big.
Chef over den her side.
This stone never found any line for Mishenka.
Это 0,4 было.
Это у меня 4. Сколько у тебя?
0,4.
Essentially 2 corner guards for Denmark. Pretty good start to the second end after conceding a 4. Need to take advantage of these guards now.
Yep, still 9 ends to go. So, although it's a big end at the first, if you're going to lose a big end, that's the place to do it.
Larsen coming out of the corner guard. Not too worried to bring that deep, just want to get it buried. And they do. be partially open.
Som om en bukser ikke var nok i forvejen, altså.
Какой
Det er i
вес?
hvert fald af, og
Давай борт, можно колодка.
det er lige ved næsten.
So they will chase the cielo. Just playing a hack weight, hack board.
Как?
Воу.
Нет,
Свит!
борт, борт. Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да.
Супер идет, Мишань! Да-да-да!
Свит.
Big sweep early. Gets it past
Возьми!
the guard. Would like to roll closer to the center line. They do.
Спасибо.
Nice.
Skal jeg lige bruge den der derovre? Hvad kan I bedst lide?
Jeg kan lige bare gå rent rundt. Rent rundt, det er fint.
Så den ligger bedre!
Det er okay. Det ser vi på.
Denmark don't want to be hitting stones. They were looking there about hitting and rolling, but when you're 4 down, you don't want to be hitting stones back tee. So deciding now to go for the come around. Use that corner guard.
8, 9. Altså, den satte rigtig meget fast.
Mathilde, til dig! Mathilde, til dig! Ja,
fart.
ja, nu! Ja, 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 nu! Ja, ja, det er rigtig god! Træk den, træk den, træk den! Kom nu, Mathilde, træk den! Træk den, træk den! Mere! Mere, ja, 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 ja! Perfekt.
Trying to bring it as far as they could to bury it. And Russia will still be able to see part of the stone,
Афинка, да,
at
тебе
least
не нравится?
Не, это
3 quarters.
есть уже два города, которые за них играют. Ладно. Такой же вес. Ой, чуть побольше. Сорян. Нет.
Whiteboard! Воу! Пока нельзя!
Свит!
Воу!
Свит!
Воу! Свит! Воу! Воу! Свит! Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да! Свит! Свит! Свит!
Первого возьми!
Oh, and another successful fishing trip for Ryzanova.
Хорош.
Is able to fish that one out and
Ja, det er inden! 9! Ja, okay.
rolls to the back of the 8.
Ja, lidt af! Ja, ja! Kom nu!
Playing the hit here, Denmark. I'm not sure I'd be so worried about these stones back of the tee line.
Kom nu, Mathilde, ja!
And now also over curling. Will chip off the red and roll out.
Jeg tror, hvis vi skal have tid nok, så er det...
Yeah, should be worried about your opposition stones when you don't have a hammer. Less so when you do have the last in advantage, and they are in behind the tee line.
Yeah, the fact that both Russian stones were back tee, that's advantage to Denmark. They can use that.
There's coach for Russia, Andrei Drostov. Will be very happy to have seen his team make it to the playoff stages.
Хороший вес. 4 фута.
Был плюс.
Супер вес. Можно даже подождать.
Можно ждать.
Чуть зайти.
Зайти нельзя.
Нет, хороший
Свип,
будет.
свип, Настя!
Нет, хороший вес.
Воу! Воу!
Это прям 4.
Целайн.
Чуть-чуть за,
Нет, нет, нет.
чуть-чуть за.
And another one slips back tee. So a great chance now for Denmark to get around there.
Here is Mikael Kvist, coach for Denmark, also the father of alternate Gabriela.
Wow, 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 wow. Ikke nogen retning. Kun retning! Wow! Kun retning! Wow! Bag 4, bag 8! Wow! 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 My, det kan dig! My, ja! Wow! My! Wow! Wow! Ikke læg for meget!
Jasmin Lander.
Wow! Wow!
And the freeze just gonna bounce off a bit too much there. Accessible to Russia.
Red line.
Нет, ну давай чуть-чуть.
такой же вес. Вы просто его, да, поддержите.
Leaves a much tougher shot for the Russians.
Ну вообще нравится сыграть.
Да, мне тоже нравится сыграть, да.
Just going to bring the weight down, not play too much. Just enough to punch it through. Sweeping all the way, Mishenka trying to hold it. Getting very close to that guard. And it will chip off. And rolls to the back. So there we see Denmark playing a draw. Forcing a mistake. Seemed to work out pretty well. They get to draw again here. Not quite able to utilize their corner guards here, but as long as you are in control of the forefoot, you're happy to play around the center.
Definitely don't want them to sweep for line.
I'd like to get half checked behind the redstone top 12. Doesn't do that, gets a little bounce. Haven't left the most straightforward double here. Pretty sure we'll see some big weights.
Блин, ну да, да, его надо выпихнуть. Можем просто сыграть вот так.
Мне не нравится, мне нравится... Нас, в принципе, его в лоб устроит, он останется здесь. Какой вес?
Сильно хочу.
First yellow will go. Question is, where does the second yellow go? It'll definitely jam on one of the red stones, and then how far does it spin?
Я не знаю, что там разлетится, но один точно должен вылететь.
Хорошо, давай.
We'd want to keep the shooter in play here too. Big weight, and a big sweep early. Are they past the top red? Yes, they are. Onto the yellow, but doesn't get the back one. We'll stuff it in the back 12. Shooter rolls away. Really needed to keep the shooter there.
Что-то он так сразу повалился сильно.
Without rolling away, Denmark free to draw anywhere once more.
Да, потому что...
Странно как-то пошел. Хотя... Я вроде его вперед скрутила, он так свалил.
Ja, det synes jeg nemlig også.
Ja, 29. Men jeg synes, min har også været hurtig. Okay. Altså, 15-20 stykker tror jeg egentlig meget godt. Alternativet, hvad er det? Det er den korte? Ja. Eller hvad? Ja, det er det korte. Ja. Normalt. God linje! God form! Skal have lidt! Have lidt! Skal have! God retning! Skal have! Yep! Yep! Yep!
On this one early for line.
Yep!
And wait.
Fortsæt, Pia! Yep! Yep, 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 yep! Wow, okay. Go far, Pia.
It's much better than coming up heavy.
Go far.
It guards the shot stone now, Denmark. Very experienced, Halse, at a very young age. Played at an Olympic Games, 3 European Championships,
Я постановку возила вот так.
including one she skipped herself, and that was this season in Helsingborg.
Но у тебя немножко другое вращение, да?
Nicknamed the mini skip. You can see the Olympic rings tattoo there. Fond memories of the Olympics, and I'm sure they now rebuild with a youthful team looking forward to make it back there. Looking to draw around that yellow stone just played by Denmark. Put this one right on the button, or even freeze the Danish stone back four. Needs to get off the corner guard first, and then pass the yellow stone top 12. Have they left it too long? No, they get it past. How far can they get it? Just in for shot stone. Very nice draw. Good sweep.
Really well played.
I thought for a second they've lost that one.
Yeah, the tolerance was shorter, and that it would reduce the scoring area for Denmark to get in for two. But sweepers managed to get it there. Great sweep.
Denmark right away called the run back. Pretty tough to make it. Almost edge on edge with that nibbler at the top. If you run it right past the shot zone, you might clip your own yellow, but the stone she's running in here might catch one of the back reds. Last stone, second end, down four, looking to claw back right away. This one really bending early. Gonna end up raising the red. Nothing really comes of it. But Russia does steal one here after that great draw by Ryrmantseva. Just not enough weight from Halse. Russia lead 5-0 after two ends.
Я готова, я готова. Давай, можно. Супер.
Пока 4-6.
Да-да-да.
6.
Сразу, сразу. Да-да-да-да-да-да.
Свип, вместе,
Она же сделала.
свип.
Да-да-да-да-да-да-да.
Гад, а не гад.
Да-да-да-да-да-да. Сделай просто центр.
Блин, я вообще не понимаю, как его кидать можно.
Спасибо.
Просто.
Third end of play, Russia playing Denmark. It's not been the greatest start for a Danish team looking for a win to put them through to the weekend. Down 5. Already looking a bit grim. Only positives for the Danish side. Many ends left to play. And we have seen some pretty big turnarounds this week. I think the biggest was Switzerland leading Norway 7-2 after 6 and lost 7-8. So it's possible. But that was in 4 ends. Denmark, they have 8.
Yeah, and Denmark have to look in the positives at the last end. They were lying short, Skip's first stone, and if they come into lie 2, they potentially were looking good to get their 2.
Спасибо. Влад. Это твой? Ага.
Да.
Распали. Ну там просто он сел, считанный.
I don't think Russia would mind closing this game out early and take an early evening off, rest and recoup for tomorrow. But I don't think that can really ever enter your mind, though, when you play a game.
No, not at all.
You can't rush a game,
Back up, Sue.
even if you're in a big lead. That's when you start to lose focus and let your opponent back in.
Я не могу еще перейти. Ой, да-да-да, забудь. Забудь. Давай,
Because it's easy when you're in a big lead, which I know you were a lot, Rona. You start thinking about other things, you know, what are we doing for dinner after, and so on. And then you lose your focus, you miss a few shots, and you give your opponent some hope.
Yeah, it's so important to keep focused, especially with the new 5-rock free guard zone. An end can build up away from you so quickly.
Возможно, выбьем. Нет, садится.
Teams have been able to play the 5-rock rule for a couple seasons now, I think.
Молодец, нормально. Он в конце подсел.
Probably most teams have let a game dwindle away because of it. Harder to play defense.
Ja, bottom center, så. Okay. Sue!
And as you said, Russia are defending champions. Denmark, new young team. It's a big learning experience for them.
Lidt oppe! Vi skal herned! Den er lang. 9. Langkøllen. Hvor lang er den? 7. 8. Der er en også. 9. My, er du klar? Køller. My! Yep, My! Bare herned, herned! Yep, yep! Yep, yep! Yep, 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 yep!
Trying to bury behind the cover.
Это неплохо. Может.
So, Russia out to see the edge of the stone. Play a down weight. Try and get the curl past the top one.
Можно Настя. Воу. Пока не валит, воу. Просто сбоку.
Doesn't curl enough.
Ты его закрыла.
So leaves Denmark lying short. So here's this opportunity Denmark need to capitalise on.
Spiller nogle sammen. Giv det lige en meter mere. Normalt. Jeg tror, de skal have. Jeg er samme kort ud som før. Lidt bred! Bred! Sammen til bred. Den dør nu. My ind os! Den dør nu! Kom nu! Kom Mathilda! Mathilda! Den køler rigtig meget! Okay, wow. Okay. Ja. Wow. Okay.
So coming up short.
Så bare der. Mathilda. Jeg har samme kort.
Never ideal to be putting up a centre guard when you do have last stone.
Så meget burde den slet ikke dø. Jamen, etteren.
Russia so far up,
Окей.
but they're just going to clear the front.
Mere end før. Så det er bare stille. Okay. Fair nok.
Просто бил. Свип.
So removes the one centre guard.
Блин.
Вер, помнишь, сторона прямая, здесь плюс вообще нельзя
Ну,
делать.
почти довалил.
В смысле почти?
really like to get this round behind cover. Sweeping for line. Just catches it. Lighter weight. Denmark just struggling a bit with their draw weight beginning of this game.
Ты хочешь с этим?
Тебе нужно чуть перевал.
Да, я понимаю.
I believe running back to Red, the guard here. Trying to get to the shot stone. Just a bit wide. Just past the yellow, very close. But also leaves a guard. The shooter stays up front.
So third attempt at coming around. Denmark need to get this in.
Retning! God så! Og så, wow! Bliv nede. Wow! Rejs! 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 My! Lidt mere! Hvorfor rejser vi den ikke?
Unfortunately,
Det er måske ikke til os.
tapped into the open.
Vi fejrer kun. Vi kan ikke se retningen.
Jeg vil hellere have, at der ikke var hul ned til den der. De havde næsten
Det er da lige meget, når retningen ikke er der, så skal den bare rejses ind i 4 fod.
Jeg vil hellere have det
Vi kan ikke bare fokusere ikke, hvad der er på retningen. Det får jo andre, der bliver sagt fejl. Vi kalder den lidt langt.
Oh, unhappy with the communication on that shot. Yasmin Lander
Если чуть меньше будет, не страшно.
with the sweeping.
Yeah, by putting it where they have, there is a chance now for Russia to hit and roll off it behind the cover.
Гол.
Легче, легче. Можно поднять. Поднять. Настя.
Настя, вали.
Pretty close here. Off the yellow, rolls in behind center. Top 4, shot stone. Wow, Russia on fire this evening in front of a pretty good turnout. Lots of locals making their way in.
So still an opportunity here for Denmark to go for the run back. Yellow onto red and lie 2.
Need to be pretty accurate here. Hair high, you clip your own. Hair low, you could go yellow, red onto yellow. And they'll make it perfect.
No problem.
Very nicely played by Matilda Halse. Gets the tiniest tickle on their own yellow, but keeps it in to line 2, putting Russia in some bother.
С этой стороны привести и закрыть.
Окей, мне нравится так.
Вот так.
All of a sudden, the 3 might be in play.
Влад, если что, у тебя здесь есть упор.
Да, я понимаю.
Russia think they're playing the tap here. Could try and run one of the reds in to remove a yellow, cut Denmark down to 2, which is a bit of an all or nothing shot.
Что по весу?
I guess there's a few more options with the tap here. A little heavy, you can try and catch a thin piece, try and get in there for maybe second shot.
Yeah, even getting in for second wouldn't be a bad result for Russia. Because there's not a lot of room either for Denmark to come in.
Tough shot here though. Straight tap onto the forefoot. Line, weight needing to be absolutely perfect. Izanova trying to hold the line here. Have they lost it? Trying to keep the line. Just going to overcurl a fraction. Well, you know what? That shot was made. They just had to sweep it.
Yeah, fantastic weight. Just overcurled. They needed to hold that line earlier. And you could have been on the high side with it.
So Denmark lies 2. Chance to draw for 3. The magic of the 5-rock rule.
Denmark had 3 attempts to draw around to get their second counter in here.
Last one, third end. Need a good one here, Denmark. Jensen. Larsen trying, but this one pulling up well short of the rings. Only 2, but at least it is 2 for Denmark. Really needed a multiple score here. After 3 ends, Russia will lead the Danes 5-2.
Opvarmning, hvor den slet ikke kom over hotline.
Ja, det havde jeg også. Og jeg havde fuldstændig samme tid som på en, hvor jeg stod igennem.
Ja.
3!
Denmark scores 2. Clawing back at Russia. Still down 3, so center guard is the play.
Пока вылет, ну сейчас сядет. Уже садится. Легче, 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 легче. Нет, 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 можно подождать. Можно подождать. Это в гард уже. Почти.
Pass to center guard here. Just going to pop out the other side, back 4. Guess if you're going to be back 4, might as well pop out the other side. We see the other scores. Korea, a couple of steals on Canada. They're up by 3. Japan leads Hungary 3-1. Switzerland 4 up on Latvia. And Norway with a 1-point lead on Sweden. The Japan, Hungary and Switzerland Latvia game having some implications for Russia and Denmark tonight. I know there's still many things that can happen here, Rona.
There is indeed. Always good in the last round-robin game to have lots of connotations.
Denmark might need some help.
Yes.
Their draw shot challenge not the best. I'll have to start winning this game, and then we'll see.
Давай. Давай контролом попробуем.
Of course, Canada and Korea, they're playing for the #1 spot.
Yeah, Korea have had a great round robin, 8-0 so far. Canada just on 1 loss. So the fact that they're meeting in the last round robin game and they're just vying for first and second place.
Это хороший камень или плохой?
Some mistakes creeping in here from the Russian side.
крикнула, что она первый плохой кидает. Она
It's the last thing you want to do after going 5 up is start missing shots and giving your opponent some hope.
3. Go. 4. Fint. Go.
Just like we talked about, you know, needing to stay focused. Don't think the game's over just because you're 5 up after 2 ends.
No, definitely not. Not in a 10-end game of curling. Anything can happen.
Denmark throws up the guard.
Я тоже не можно снимать, да? Можно.
Как попасть? Свип, свип, свип! Свип! Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да! Отпусти!
Wow. That is mighty unlucky.
Very unlucky. Raising a guard that far out.
That'd be very hard to do if you tried.
Я опять это плечо дурацкое вот так вот сделала. Не сделала короткое движение.
Well, Denmark really needs to take their chances here. Make full use of Russia's mistakes and punish them for them.
Carolina Jensen, just 16 years of age. Many years left in the juniors. So a nice close guard.
Lander having to remind Halse that she's gonna take over the head. And I think she just tapped Halse in the forehead after a missed high five. So having a bit of a chuckle. Oh, look at this. A lot happened, but not too beneficial for Russia. So the Russians are pretty close with these peels, just they're not really going their way.
She can't believe her luck.
Still a wee smile from Rizanova.
Ничего страшного. А ты чуть пошли.
Seeming quite relaxed, the Russian team. I think they'll be a bit upset if they give away this 5-point lead. Barely over the hog line here from Lander. Still provides cover for their shot stone in there.
Блин.
О, это много.
Tyolekova only removes 1 guard.
сейчас испугалась и поставила больше щетки. А ты не плюсанула? Он плюсанул. Мне просто сверху показалось, что такой плюс сделала.
Hvor skal det være is?
Jeg tror det er okay.
Wow! Skal nok komme.
Lidt oppe.
Skal nok komme.
Tæt.
Wow!
Den er lidt bred lige nu.
3, 4. Dør lidt.
Den er så let.
Wow!
Yep. Kun retning. Yep. Ah,
Wow.
god form. Yep.
Wow!
Yep, lidt mere.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep, yep.
Godt farvet.
Yep. Benjamin, gør far.
Jeg er stadig lidt dukket på mit øje, hvis
Покажи, куда попасть. Куда попасть?
Нет, там надо чуть шире попадать. Сюда на
So
тебе
here's a good lesson for
очень показала.
the young players out there. You know, very tempting to make a peel on
Ой,
the top guard and try and get everything going, but Russia making sure the first stone they hit is the one actually covering the shot stone. They will over curl, and this time they'll be a bit fortunate. They had been a bit unlucky a couple of times in a row now, so
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take that.
so don't actually remove the guard like intended, but they removed the shot stone. So Denmark having to replace it. Still a great chance for the Danes to steal with a good draw here.
Yeah, the cover's set up really well for Denmark to get in behind.
Ja, det tror jeg er god. Ja, det tror jeg på småben.
Вторым камнем для контрола. Вот, для контрола щетка. Вот так.
Lidt oppe måske.
Vær klar. Klar. Jap. Kom, jap.
Skaller.
Jap. Fortsæt.
Over curling, well catch. The tighter center guard.
Did you see that? He just touches a little bit. Eller hvad?
I believe Jensen stopped that stone from rolling with her foot.
But I think in this side.
We'll have another look.
Скажи, что мы видели, ни хрена не так. Короче,
Yeah, it's probably going to roll a bit further. See what the teams agree on.
Just there, but it's your choice.
Technical timeout called by Russia, just making sure their time doesn't run while trying to figure this out.
Det er altså ikke meget, den har.
Der var ikke der. Nej.
So
We can use that for anything.
Det var ikke meget, den rykkede.
It's your choice. I mean,
that is correct. It is Russia's choice to replace it.
Den stod også faktisk.
Or put it where they think that might have rolled to.
Nå ja, det var også bare ham.
And I think they're just going to move it a little further out, which I think is the correct call.
Чуть больше. Вера. Да. Закидываем.
So instead, it's Russia with the chance to come around these guards. Potentially set themselves up to score a 2 after chasing the entire end.
Есть пример. Можно легко.
Kusanova on the sweep early for a line, needing to wrap around the guards here. Nishenka joining in, trying to drag this. And he will drag it far enough, come into the house, top 8 foot. Nice draw, nice sweep, team effort.
Really nice.
Look at all the locals coming in to support their home team. Very nice to see. I'm sure the curling knowledge is somewhat limited, but they,
They've been learning all week.
yes, they have.
Er du klar på den?
And it's nice when they're playing on the end sheet and the crowd are right there.
Okay, jeg kan sige, der er lidt mange garter.
Of course, Krasnoyarsk hosting the Winter University Games, where curling was on the program only last year. So they've seen curling before, maybe got the taste for it, so back for more. Denmark looking to promote that yellow stone that was burned by Jensen. But over curling, maybe through the port instead, yes, but far enough, no. Again, Halsa just seems to be coming up a bit shy on everything this evening.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity to use all that cover out front, make it difficult for Russia.
And it's really the same draw for Rumyantseva. Same line, same everything. And they can score a 2 right back. Get back to that 5-point lead. Last stone, fourth end. Sweeper's not touching it this time. Looks pretty good though. Few licks on the brush here to just keep it alive onto their own red here. And that is 2 points for Russia. Which means the home team will lead Denmark again by 5 points now, 7-2.
Ну ты хорошо, что ты поняла.
Но я Вере передала. Верке передай, я сказала.
At banen er i hvert fald langsom. Ja. Den er langsommere end det. Når den kommer ud i siderne, synes jeg virkelig, at den tager fart af. De fleste har klikket til midten, de har været omkring 14, og normalt var 14 ikke at være indlægsfart jo. Så det plejer at være 14-7, hvis den er noget. Man kan sagtens trække 15 ind. Så det var godt skud.
Сразу, да. Да, сразу, тип, да. Будет, да. Давай.
7-2, Russia leads Denmark.
Мне кажется, если его сразу не брать, то он
The
потеряет.
Danes with hammer in the fifth end would hope to score a couple of points before halftime. It is very much a must-win for the Danes.
Altså, Jasmin, er jeg smal? Nej.
Yep, fifth end, Denmark just really need to get some corner cover up. Try and throw everything at this end. Get a couple back on the board.
Такой себе. Можно подождать. Подожди, очень много линий. Подожди. Нет. Валить. Надо валить. Ира всегда. Да. Валить.
Да. конца, до конца, до конца.
Да.
Свип.
Давай. Да, все разворачивать, меня начало разворачивать. Я такая, смотри, ты переходишь. Смотри, на мою сторону.
Denmark qualified for the World Juniors this year, coming through the B event in Lochia in Finland.
Mathilda, hjem! Træk den! Træk den, Mathilda, hjem! Træk den! Hjem! Hjem! Træk den! Kom nu! Træk den! Træk den! Kom nu! Godt far, piger. Kom nu! Eller den anden godt, det kan.
Lots of games this evening. As every session of the round robin, Canada scores on Korea, still down by 2. Japan up 4-1 on Hungary. The same for Switzerland over Latvia. And tied game between Sweden and Norway next door.
Фриз!
Плюс был! Плюс был!
Маленький контакт! Свип! Настя! Да! Свип! Еще чуть-чуть.
Ир, мы понимаем, что был, но просто он видно, что едет плохо.
Просто это
Не,
ногами.
вес-то был бы хороший.
А?
Я говорю, вес-то был бы хороший.
Hvad? Kan du fare den?
Not a perfect setup again from Russia. The Danes would like to open the front a bit here. But most importantly, keep the shooter in play, which they don't, and that's a huge mistake. Then Russia won't have to worry about removing it themselves, and they can start thinking about removing guards.
I hvert fald på etteren.
Even the pocket of 2 reds there, Denmark could have frozen in amongst that.
Jeg ved godt, den skal jeg mere ud af, men jeg er bare ikke særlig god til at styre det. Hvad siger du? Jeg ved godt, den skal jeg mere ud af, men jeg er bare ikke
But
særlig god til at
now,
styre det.
Russia are quite happy they can open things up.
Det vælger nu. Vil du have et slag den? Ja. Ja. Ligger de på linje? Ja.
Altså, er det indlægget, eller går vi over? Eller taken?
Det tækker den.
Hun har peget på begge, nemlig.
Ram og rul. Ja. God. 8,5. God. Det er dig. Det er dig. My sion. Lidt mere. Lidt mere. Okay. 8.
Ну, довольно много надо выходить.
So again, Russia move out to clear cover. Denmark really can't afford to be hitting and rolling out.
Свип! Воу! Есть. Молодец.
So this end a bit spoiled for the Danes. Now just hitting the open red. Basically be giving up on scoring a multiple end here. Opt for the blank. Just carry the hammer into halftime. Try again for the 6th end. Well hit and stick here. Tuliakova.
Хорошо, что плюс сделала.
So Jasmine Lander is having a sabbatical year this year, so we'll give her more time to curl. Just 19, so a couple of years left in juniors.
Rumyantseva looking to win back-to-back titles as skip, just like Kelsey Rock of Canada did in 14-15. And even Muirhead in 08-09.
Это пил пока. Это пил.
We'll roll out here. Not too much of a worry for her.
Такое ощущение.
There's good times in band for half shots.
Ну да. Просто вес.
Больше?
8,86.
Throwing into the house here. Halsell. Big sweep to get a top 12. It's really important to actually bring that into the house. Didn't want to leave a guard for Russia to come around. Wow. Mistake by Rumyantseva. We said there's good times and bad for half shots. That's a complete miss by the Russian skip. Under no pressure whatsoever.
No, just tight the whole way. Sweepers couldn't hold it for her. And maybe it is just a lack of concentration.
So this means Denmark has an open draw to score 2. Perhaps the cheapest deuce they've gotten so far this week. Well, you love when that happens. You'll take it gladly.
Absolutely.
And this draw is a bit lighter on the sweepers as well. All by itself onto the lid for 2 points. Denmark taking advantage of that miss by the Russian skip. So the score is 7-4 in favor of Russia coming into the halftime. Let's see if the Russian coach, Andrei Drostov, might tell the girls to focus a bit more for Denmark. They need to make a few more shots to turn this game around.
Еще игра не закончилась. 7-4. Уже 7-4. Сейчас бы было бы 7-2, так как оставалось. Еще полигры впереди. Не расслабляться. Понятно, соперник расслабляет, но зачем вы так? В кучку соберитесь и доиграйте последнюю игру в круге нормально. Ощущения нельзя терять.
Toer til 8-6, så tager de en 8'er til en 9-6, så tager vi en 2'er, og så stjæler vi. Så er vi væk. Så er det bare nemt, så nemt gør man det. Ja, ja. Men det eneste, vi kan gøre nu, det er jo tro på det og gøre, hvad vi kan. Prøv at snakke meget om de der farter. Og hvordan er den der 8'eren? Den er ikke sjov.
Den er ikke sjov.
Den er ikke sjov.
ikke særlig sjov. Jeg føler, at jeg spiller bagkant på
Altså, jeg har tilbudt at tage den første sten, og så bare spille en bagkantsfart på den, men det har jeg ikke fået lov til. Bare sådan der ud og spille.
Hvorfor gør I det?
Jeg har ikke
Jamen,
fået
gør
lov.
det så.
Jeg sagde det i...
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first 5 ends. In the first end, it was a tough start for the Danes.
Очень сильно.
Left an open draw for Russia to score 4. That draw made. And the Russians jumping ahead to a big lead. Stealing 1 in the second. They are now up by 5. A great run back by Matilda Halse. Set them up to score a 3, except the draw coming up short. So just a 2. And Russia still leading by 3. In the fourth end, Denmark looking so good for a steal. But a run back made by Russia, missed draw by Denmark, leaves the Russians drawing in with a couple of shots from their skipper to put a deuce on the board. And with the deuce back from Denmark, the score is 7-4. And elsewhere, we see Korea leading Canada 3-1. Japan leads Hungary 5-1. Tied game between Switzerland and Latvia, 4 each. Also tied between Sweden and Norway, in a very low-scoring game over there. Well, just taking a look at the stats, we see both teams having some struggles. Denmark obviously making less shots than the Russians. We just feel like the Russia, after that 5-point lead, may be lacking a bit of focus. So we'll see how the teams react after their halftime break and talking to their coaches. 5 ends left in this contest.
На мне ранбэк, надо было железть туда, я подумала об этом, да. Давай, вот. Так, теперь у тебя хороший.
Да.
Просто мне сразу поговори, а не через того. Что ты имеешь в виду такого? А ты? А? Потом...
Kan det være den etter?
Russia and Denmark back on the ice for the 6th end after halftime break. It is Denmark with it all to play for, needing a win here to put themselves through to the playoffs. Russia already qualified. Really just playing for rank. A win here would put them 3rd. And at the moment, with Korea leading Canada, they would go through undefeated as number 1. So a potential semi-final against Canada for Russia if they win here.
Может быть, плохим? Нет, нет!
And Sander Olvag, joined by Rona Howie.
Камнем кинуть! Любым!
Interesting 5 ends, I'd say, to begin this evening.
Сильно!
Yep, certainly has. Russia are certainly playing the better shots but they've let a few chances slip as well. Just lack of concentration, I think. Denmark also have had chances, not capitalising them all. So it's been a topsy-turvy first 5. I'm sure the second half will be just the same.
Так я не понимаю, она хотела стейр, она хотела пил вообще.
Lidt kort, lidt tight. Så hjem. 2. Lidt tight.
Kig lige op i gang.
God linje. 3. 3. Wow, bare der.
Nej, ikke modsat.
Til det.
Bare rent.
Giv den lidt, Karolina. Bare giv den lidt, Karolina.
Wow!
Godt, My. Godt, My. Godt.
It is actually Denmark's first World Junior A Championship since 2014, where the team was relegated and been struggling down in the B group for years. As we've touched on before in the week, that B group becoming pretty hard to get promoted from.
Yeah, it certainly has got harder and harder. In the junior women this year, there were 19 teams entered the B qualifier, and only 3 qualify for this World Championship.
Looks like Denmark are fairly safe to keep their place in this week, but I'm not gonna confirm anything yet. No, exactly. It's been a while since they medaled at the juniors. Go back to 2007. Madeleine Dupont picking up a bronze at this event, with Lena Nilsson getting bronze the year before. Never won a championship, Denmark. Never made a final, but a total of 5 bronze medals.
Rolls out to the wing. Russia just quite happy to eliminate any Danish stones.
Просто прямо шел? Просто прямо шел.
God fart! Jeg synes selvfølgelig hæve, så den er rent.
Wow, 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 wow. Op, helt op. Helt op. Helt op. Top 12. Ja, hjælp hende. Jeg tykker hjælp hende. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Vi beholder. Wow!
No line for this draw.
Og det er 4.
Может, в доме снять? А у нее в доме.
Russia still on defense, looking to peel the guards.
Whoa.
Only gets 1 and actually promotes the second yellow to the back of the forfeit.
Yeah, just struggling with the accuracy of their hits tonight, catching stones on the wrong side. We said earlier, we know Russia have qualified, but they really want to finish the round robin in a strong performance and take that good feeling into the semi-final tomorrow.
playing the hit here, Rona.
Yes. I'm not too sure why when they're 3 down. Well, I do know why they're doing it, to make sure that they don't lose another big end. But they need to try and steal, put the pressure on Russia. They could have even frozen up to the back of that one if they'd wanted, or put a guard on their own. So a lot more meaningful options than what they played.
Tulikova will gladly play the double. And I know we speak often about controlling the even ends, but yeah, when you're 3 down, I think just need to score on any end. And of course, a steal here in end 6 would be great. So really playing into Russia's hands here, I think.
Yeah, very surprising. After just getting a 2 back on the board.
Well, we did see an open hit from Rumantseva on her last stone in the 5th end. I don't think you should be expecting to see that again anytime soon.
Jeg følte, jeg ikke havde helt styr på, hvor langt den rullede. Jeg kan sgu da ikke bare på rullet, når den var i hus.
So just wanted to check to the wing there.
Vi skal rulle! Vi skal rulle! Ja, vi skal også have den i hus, ikke?
Jasmine Lander certainly playing with a lot of intensity. Lots on the line.
Gud. Ja. Du stjålede en 3'er. Ja. Fordi sidst jeg kiggede derover, så stod den 4-1. Ja, nu ligger jeg 3.
Just calling the sweepers off. Enough to hit the yellow. Does enough.
Yeah, Russia are probably quite perplexed by the tactics that Denmark have employed here. But they'll be quite happy. They can control the 6th end of the game.
Ellers så kommer vi til at køle for tidligt, så sætter den sig for hurtigt.
Er der nogen, der gider at tage det der? Der er lige sådan 2 på. Ja. Ja. Same time. Ja. Omkring. Jeg er godt nok 18. Jeg har også køller. Køller meget. God linje, køller. Køller virkelig meget. Rigtig godt. Virkelig godt, Pia. Virkelig godt. Ja. Virkelig godt. Det er det sidste.
This one will pull up short for Denmark, so no shot required by the Russians. They can just throw this last stone through for the blank. Happy to do so. Last stone, sixth end.
Бросок на 4.
The stone runs through. And Russia will keep last stone. The score's the same. Russia lead Denmark 7-4.
Меня же закрутило с этим камнем. Я в догонку за ней такая.
Det er normalt.
Op med garden igen.
Ja.
Ja. Godt set på det der rundt der.
Hold gang i den, tror jeg. Wow. Køller meget nu.
Køller nu. Køller virkelig meget.
Wow, helt væk.
Denmark needing to take full advantage of the free guard zone if they want to turn this game around on Russia. But this stone will slip into the rings from Milosen. That is a big mistake. Russia will gladly hit and take another blank, especially here in the seventh end. Carry the hammer into the eighth end with a 3-point lead.
Можно свип, свип. Воу. Свип. И ролл.
Altså, jeg spiller normalt indlægsfart på den der.
Det er ikke det, jeg klikker.
Nej, men nu er det jo ikke altid, ens korttid er helt præcis. Så der er forskel på, hvordan man sætter den. Altså, vi er jo meget forskellige.
God fart.
Ren 4. 3. Bare ren.
So Denmark just ignoring that one in the house, trying to get up the centre guard.
Kommer nu. Køller nu. Rigtig meget. Mathilda. Ja,
Try and
Mathilda.
create some cover
ja,
out
Mathilda.
front.
Ja, Mathilda.
Bare ren.
Indfra, Mathilda. Indfra. Ja.
Ир, давай.
Это плохой.
Если что, тогда оставим его просто на дрон. Так что вылетит.
Должен подсесть, подсаживается.
Пока много.
Надо, чтобы
Много пока.
Очень
Очень много пока.
Ира, садится это. Смотрите уже контакт. Да.
We'll just tap that red stone up to the forfeit.
Знаешь, сколько Она это разве было? не первый плохой кинула?
Да, нет, она первый хороший кинула, а второй плохой.
Да? А
Да.
почему она его тогда вкрутила? А? Почему она его тогда так вкрутила?
Кого? Камень.
Вот первый. Что такое? Почему ты тогда первый камень так сильно вкрутила?
Hvilken barn? Du skal spille en 9'er.
Den udefra, ikke?
Ja,
Vi
9.
spiller den 10 udefra. Vi skal ikke have den indefra.
Vi skal ikke have den indenfra i
Jeg
hvert
kan ikke få
fald.
en køller for meget på en 10'er. Og spille 9. 9, ja.
Vi skal have den udefra, Jasmin. Alternativet er at være bred jo, og så tage den røde
Okay.
derude.
Har du luft imellem de to?
Ja.
Okay.
9.
9.
Lidt nede.
Ja.
Playing the hit here with Jensen's
Ja. Ja. Ja.
first stone of the end. Seems a bit
Ja.
early.
God fart med
With
den
only the
gear.
one guard in play.
Ja, den var 9,5.
Yeah, and 3 down on the scoreboard. You really don't want your front end playing hits.
Godt, du råber det videre. Jeg synes, det var seriøst bare et talerør. Jeg var sådan, yep, wow, yep.
Certainly making things a lot easier for Russia. The less stones in play for them, the merrier they'll be. I struggle to see how Denmark think they'll be able to steal a point playing this way, unless they make every shot perfect.
But if you're Russia right now, you're really quite happy that Denmark are hitting.
Det tror jeg, den gør, vil jeg så sige. Det er den anden, der er den rigtige at spille på.
Det ved jeg godt, men du kommer ikke til at lægge af den.
Nej, men uanset hvad, er det den rigtige.
Jeg kan også bare se at skyde på den højre der.
Så ligger den stadig en.
Nej, det gør ikke noget, vi ikke ligger endnu.
Snak højere.
Det gør ikke noget, vi ikke ligger endnu.
Kommer lige ned bag Thies, tager den anden.
Ja.
9. Ja, lige præcis.
Denmark really need to be drawing round cover, trying to force an error from Russia, not leaving the easy shots for Russia.
Yep. 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 Wow. Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
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 Oh, just going to roll too far.
Men er du selv?
I know they've changed skips for the evening game because of
Okay.
Lander's
Godt se.
bad shoulder, but Shirley Halse,
Så jeg gør sådan her.
the regular skip of the team, sees what's happening from a sweeper's point of view, and she's not really taking any charge. They all seem quite happy to play the way they're doing. So
Yeah, they had a big discussion there before that shot.
no one's really recognizing the problem.
Прямо идет.
So Russia hit the yellow, roll out. That's fine.
Yeah, Russia don't need to do anything daft here at all. They're 3 up with the hammer. So they're quite happy just hitting everything,
Hvad vej vil du, Jasmin?
keeping it simple.
Okay. Op de fod.
They're going to draw now, though. Seems like they're just running a bit scared.
Vi er klar.
You know, they're more afraid of losing the game than
9-10.
going for
to win it.
exactly.
Wow. Den krøller meget.
Of course, it's scary to come around the guard if there's a couple of opposition stones in the house, but that's just something you need to do when you're 3 down.
You do, you have to force the opposition to make an error.
So that's a pretty decent draw. Just pops out a little bit on the other side.
Meget der.
But this at least forced Russia to play a much tougher shot, and they might get a mistake. And all they really need is one mistake from the Russians to get the force or get the steal.
В конце валит очень сильно, если что, гард снимешь. Просто мне кажется, бортом мы можем потерять шутер. Побольше, Влад! Поднять! Побольше! Нет! Поднять! Настя! Давай, 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 давай.
Chasing after the Danish shot stone here.
Да.
Just gets a piece. Removes it from play. Denmark get a chance to come around again. So just taking a bit more ice. Trying to adjust. Over curled a bit with the first stone lander.
Vi er bra! Kommer nok til at sætte sig igen. Vi er bra! God fod! By inderst! By! 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 Yep! Yep!
Waited for line. Now going for weight. Line looking real good here.
Den stopper, lige indtil den stopper.
Just a bit more, and there we go, fully buried. An even better draw this time by Lander. Russia might consider running this back now. Can't see anything on that stone.
13 et andet, ikke? 14-3. Den anden har jeg 14 på. Okay, passer.
Если что, ошибка, встей! Если что, перевал.
Looking for the run back here. And will clip the yellow. What a shot by Juliakova. Well, we all know that word. Very happy. Just curled enough in time.
Sætter sig meget. Vi har set. Ja. Altså, den der første der, det var helt absurd nærmest. Synes jeg. 10-15. 10. Ja. God retning. Må godt give plads så. Ja! Retning også! Retning! Kort! Ja! God retning! Retning! Okay, My! Wow! Nu, My!
Needing to bury here. Going hard at the end, trying to maximize the curl. Gets at least half buried. But it stays open enough for Russia to chase. They are looking at the run back again. So maybe not seeing so much of the stone as I thought.
Yeah, it is pretty well buried.
Rumiantseva. Will do just like Juliakova, run it back, but she'll actually stick it right in behind cover. Incredible shooting.
Really nicely played. So we thought she'd lost focus with the open hit miss. But comes out, plays the run back perfectly.
Yeah, I think that team talk from Drostov paying off here. Can only imagine telling the girls to focus. And they come back onto the ice, shooting the lights out so far. Playing the hit and roll this time, Denmark. On the back stone. It's going to have to make a pretty perfect roll. It will roll, but roll too far. Missed line call again. And after that incredible run back, it is now a chance to draw in and score two.
Men jeg tror ikke, vi får lov at frøken til at smide dernede. Tror du ikke? Nej, jeg tror ikke. Jeg kan også snakke. Vent lige til den her færdig, ikke? Nå, ja, men... Det er en god fart.
Нет, плюс был сильный. Аккуратно, о, легче, легче. Можно свип, свип.
Есть линия. Прямо идет. Прямее.
This draw
Практически не
looking pretty good for Russia. Will find its way into the house. 2 points on the board. Which means Russia now lead 9-4. 3 ends to play.
Hver gang I tager. Så vi kommer bagud med 2. Jeg ved godt, nej, 3.
Конечно, надо один хотя бы закинуть, а дальше все менять.
Ошибка сильнее, да? Точно нельзя. Надо, чтоб сел. Уже подсаживать. Да-да-да. Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да.
Чуть-чуть еще.
Супер идет, супер. Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да. Спасибо. Это ужасный камень.
9-4, Russia lead Denmark, and this last round-robin game at the World Junior Curling Championships 2020 in Krasnoyarsk, Russia. We said how Denmark desperately needed a win this evening to make it through to the playoffs, but with a loss, it can have very different implications on the other side of the table.
Okay, whoa.
As it looks right now, they could be finishing 8th instead of 4th.
Yeah, it's a very thin margin. But there's 4 other games on, and results matter everywhere. So it's still hard to speculate. But that is a potential for Denmark. But 3 ends to go in the game. Try and get their 2 back here.
8-10 за. 10 за. Давай, да.
Take a look at the comparisons for the leads. Ishenka with a couple of mistakes here and there. Does come up deep with one of her first 2 stones here, but puts 1 top 4 as well. Lee Larsen did slip into the rings on the previous end. And Denmark really needed a center guard.
So putting up a second corner guard. Nicely played. Russia still not able to remove these guards in the free guard zone.
It's just imperative for the leads to get their stones up and take advantage of that free guard zone.
Только Настя, если надо.
Нет, ничего.
The 2 second players also with a few struggles this evening. Still, I think Grzanova will be happier of the two. Currently leading the game.
Really nice head and roll.
Нет, он подмазан.
Давай тогда контролом.
Можно сделать просто пил. А тебе просто пил его не нравится?
Kazanova coming well wide here, past the corner guard just. Wow, sweeper's able to hold that one. Actually rolls in. Real good.
Ира, сейчас хорошо отпустила. Отпустила хорошо.
А мне показалось мягко.
Lidt oppe. Wow.
Denmark rolling out here. Again, playing a lot of hits when perhaps drawing or tapping might be more useful. Just at least make sure the shooter stays in play. They've rolled out on so many occasions.
But also, they're not needing to be throwing that weight. They could tap stones to the back, 4 foot back, 8 foot, use the opposition stones to benefit you. And leave potential jams for Russia to make. Now Russia can remove the corner guards and leave Denmark with little cover.
One at a time is really good enough for the Russians. Solyakova.
У меня уже руки отказываются.
Still playing the head. It's baffling. Got the guard up, can come around it.
Well, absolutely, that's what the guard's there for.
This is going to over curl and actually peel their own guard. Definitely not playing like a team ready for the playoffs just now. Making a fair amount of shots, Jasmine Lander this evening. But definitely some dubious calls along the way. Did look like that Yellowstone was outside the rings from our angle. But Russia's going to take no chances and just peel it. There's really nothing else to do because Denmark peeled the guard for them.
Слушай, сейчас немножко плюсанула.
Нет, мне не понравилось.
Wow, den er bra. Den er bra. God fart. 9. 7, 8. 9. Hvor lang er den? 9. 7.
I think to freeze the shot stone here.
9.
So hard to make a perfect freeze. You know, I'd be more tempted to come around that yellow, actually freeze the back red. And worry about the shot stone later in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now there's no debate about what Russia's going to do. You have to make your opposition think they've got to play the hard shots.
Нужен быстрее. Мне не нравится щетка.
Нравится?
Не нравится, сильно валит.
Поставь, пожалуйста.
Gonna throw pretty big weight here. There's a chance of a jam in the back. Red will jam, but it does roll out. That kind of weight, a lot of ground, it will move. It does also roll the shooter away, not to leave a big pocket for Denmark. You see a bit of an advantage for the Russian skip playing Matilda Halse tonight. We'll try the freeze again, this time. There's a second red next to it, so to put this on the corner of the shot stone, it'd be very hard for Russia to remove.
Lidt kort. Okay, så bare fejl. Vent lidt. Skal her. My inderst. Så god. Okay, kom med. Må godt køre lidt.
Looking pretty good for line here. Can they lock it right on? Yes, they can, and that stone is now pretty much in jail. Not sure if Russia can actually remove it from play. They might have to do something else as we see a couple of games come to an end. Japan winning over Hungary 7-2. I believe Korea game also over, beating Canada 7-1. So only 2 games still ongoing is Sweden, Norway, and Switzerland, Latvia. So that means Korea going undefeated through the round robin, looking mighty strong. So we see that freeze from Halse. Perfect. That's not going anywhere.
Yep, if we'd just seen a few more of those earlier on in the end. Yeah, so Korea will be ranked #1 going into the semi-finals. Canada will be ranked 2.
So if Russia wins this game,
they will face Canada in the semi-final.
That's what it looks like to me, as Ryumantseva realizing that yellow isn't going anywhere, so I think they're just going to guard it. So Denmark can't make a play. I'm not sure if this will curl enough for Team Russia here. So definitely a chance for Halse to come the other way. Tap the yellow.
And it just shows how easily that opportunity's arisen for Denmark. One good freeze, and he set up a 2.
Playing pretty big weight here again, though. It'd be tempting to just come in with backring weight here on the inside of the yellow. Keep that red in play in the back of the rings for a potential jam. Oh, pardon me, last stone. Getting too caught up in the excitement, Ronan. Last stone at the end. Score 2 here, keep their hopes alive. Past the guard, onto the yellow, and there you go, 2 points for Denmark. Skips deuce by Matilda Halse. Made it look easy. So, is that enough for Denmark to go one more end? I think so. A glimmer of hope. Skips deuce indeed, Halse. 9-6 to score, 2 ends left. We need more of the same. Denmark.
Забрасываем хорошенький.
på 4. 3, 2. Med bred. Gå væk, hvis I kan. Gå! Linjen kommer nu! Ja! God linje! Ja, ned 3. God linje. Kom nu, Mathilde. Indenfra. Indenfra. Ja, indenfra. Hold linjen. Wow. Wow.
Center guard in play by Denmark, scoring 2. Still with a chance here. Russia needing to stay focused to close this game out. Lots of time on the clocks for both teams. That shouldn't be much of an issue. Neither team using their timeout. So just taking their time and call the right shots and make them. Mishenka still a little bit sloppy in this game and will come up shy. Leaves a guard for Denmark.
Не, ну сейчас это 4-2. Jeg har ikke set den her, men jeg har på fornemmer, at den kører fuldstændig som den anden. Jeg har set den. Ja. Ja.
Difficult for Russia. They've led the whole way through the game since the first end, and as we said, they have qualified. It's all right saying you need to keep focused. It's another thing to do it. Nice come around. See, it's completely buried. Still the free guard zone. Russia can't remove it. Russia could have peeled their own guard if they'd wanted to.
Будет вес. Фриц. Нет, подожди, не очень. Надо ждать. Контакт. Надо очень ждать. По весу 8 за пока. Очень повалил.
Вообще не садится. Нет, садится, но это очень просто.
A little heavy from Mishenka.
Yeah, they could have come around the other side and split their own red in to give them 2 counters.
Кто по весу?
Ну не, семерка, в принципе.
Fuld 8. Eller bid 8.
Bid 8. Det kan vi se deroppe. Bid 8.
Normal.
God fart.
God fart. Nej, ja. Yep. Kom retning. Wow.
Wow. Retning.
Lidt oppe. Wow. Wow. 7. 8, 9. 7. 9. Det var meget nu. Så er den 9 sådan hernede? Nej, det er den ikke. Den er 7, 8.
9 sekunder ned bag.
Wow. Linjen er der ikke. God fart! Godt se, Mø.
Doesn't completely bury, but it is round top of the 4.
А вот так тебе не нравится?
Well, this could be a bit of a circus shot right here. Yellow onto red, onto yellow, yellow. You could see everything go. If you catch this, absolutely perfect. Mizanova.
Нет, сторона прямая, здесь так нельзя было делать.
Throwing that just a bit too wide. Peels the top guard. You can sense the Russians are
Ир, это твой обычный нормальный отпуск. Просто
a
сторона
little bit worried
такая.
still.
Надо было тогда щетку поменьше поставить.
Less smiles around. Probably felt like the game could have been over by now, but they've let Denmark In again.
God! Nej! Køller! God fart! God! Jeg tror langt! Tæt! 2! Køller! Tæt! Køller! Lige bag den her køller over! Jap! 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 Den her køller over! Jap! 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 Jap!
Coming up a little heavy, starting to over curl, trying to sweep it for line. So line's not bad, but comes pretty close to the rings, which is a bit dangerous to do, knowing how hard the Russian girls can throw it. Can certainly spill a lot of granite. Target becomes a bit bigger for Rizanova. What you got here? 1 and 2, but the wrong color.
Opens it all up. Not where she wanted to hit it, but it does remove all cover that Denmark can use.
Hvis vi garderer den her, så har hun den der. Til gengæld på den
Russia
her,
3
tror jeg
up
ikke,
with
hun
the
bliver
hammer.
liggende.
Tag den derovre! Ja, tag den der! Den, ja! Jeg vil hellere, hun laver
They
den
just
anden,
want
så
it
ruller jeg, så går
simple.
rundt.
God retning. Lidt ned. Pøns fart. Pøns fart. Vent lidt, hvis I kan. Vi hænger. Vi hænger.
Karolina! 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 2!
3. Ja, Karolina. Ja, fortsæt med hjælp hende. Ja, ja, ja. Lidt mere. Alt du har nu, alt du har.
Working this really hard.
Gør fart!
Very well swept.
Tuliakova have made a couple of good run backs in the game. Looking for one more. Still not quite coming off. Had a bad run of run backs earlier in the game where they seemed to be close with everything, just didn't quite come off again. A bit unlucky with the result. Denmark still lines 2.
Lidt lang! 3! Tæt! 3! Tæt! Nej, nej, den er lidt lang! Helt væk! Nej, 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 nej! Ikke my! Ikke my! 3, 4! Karolina! Tæt! Karolina! Træk den! Den skal trækkes! Ja! Den skal trækkes! Ja! Ja! Knap lidt mere! Der skal lige akkurat ikke være hul! Ja! 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 Jeg tror, at vi er der. Jeg tror, der er hul.
Nice guard in place. So keeping the pressure on Russia. They're on the back foot here.
Det er også bare de to, du skulle trække ind. Også fordi det er jo ikke for farten overhovedet. Overhovedet ikke.
Oh, there you go. Tuliakova runs it back, picks the shot stone off the forefoot. Certainly looks a lot better now.
Yeah, really nice shot. As you say, she's been unlucky with a few of her results tonight with the run backs.
She's always close though.
Yes.
Always makes contact. Not bad for a player who played lead last year.
Yep, she certainly likes the upweight shots. Maybe going from lead to third, that's what she spends her time practicing, because she never really did before.
Ja!
Coming up shy, Matilda Halse.
25.
That's going to leave an open hit for Russia to take the end away. Only saving grace for Denmark is there's still a center guard for them to come around now. Well, I think they're pretty much going to have to either way.
Ja, vi kunne godt tåle det hus. Skulle bare blandt. Ja. Ja. Jeg vil gerne sætte garden så, tænkte jeg. Så vil jeg gerne klikke op til garden, der kunne se, den ikke var der. Ja, det var fint. Bare så kan vi så fedt. Altså, om de får en etter her, en femmer, det er fucking ligegyldigt. Det ser man til. Ja. Hvis de får en etter, så står det, så bag det 4, vi får aldrig 4 sidst. Gør vi det? Jeg tror så ikke på, hvad vi bliver nok nødt til at gå. Ja, lad os se. Ja.
Sim! Sim! Wow! Sim! Wow!
On this early, trying to hold the line. Really nice.
Well, roll in behind cover, but probably would have been better to just roll on the center line there to block the draw for Denmark. They have a chance now to come around the center guard.
Vi skal lidt mere end 4. Altså, der er så sådan her inde i 4. Okay. Ja, så en kvartsten inde i 4, lidt mere måske. Alternativet er at ligge deroppe i top 4 fod, så hun har sådan, altså vinklen ned mod. Okay. Så skal hun drage. Så.
Crucial draw. This needs to be there for Denmark. Larsen trying to hold the line, but I don't think they'll get there. Again, just a bit shy for weight. Over curling, crashing on the guard, Matilda Halse. And the hope of winning this game now might just be out the window. Bit of a wall out front, so to draw into the house, actually not that easy for Russia. They'll be looking to promote one of their own red stones out wide. But even scoring one here and a 10-6 lead, surely that must be enough to close the game out. But a score of 2, that's a guarantee. Coming pretty wide here. We'll see if might be a tad slower. On the sweep early, all tight on line. Certainly don't want to overcurl and promote a Yellowstone. He will get there in the end. Taps it up to the 12 foot, a score of 2 for Russia. Great shot by Vlada Rumyantseva. Will make it an 11-6 win for the Russians, denying Denmark any hope of playing further this week. And it's a big cheer, big applause, big support from the locals. They have a team ranked 3rd in the round robin to play a semi-final tomorrow. 11-6 the final. What a great feeling it must be for the girls, having so many people out to support them every day. And you wonder if there might just be a lot more as we make our way into the medal games. We see 2 games still ongoing in the Crystal Ice Arena this evening. Switzerland, Latvia, and the Sweden-Norway game. So for Russia, will be ranked third. For Denmark, still a little bit hard to say where they will end up. Really depends on the last two games out there. You see that big score of 4 in the first end set the tone for the game. Denmark able to strike back a few times, just never got that steal they needed. So we see all the scores from the session, last of the round robin. Korea, very impressive win over Canada, 7-1. They go undefeated throughout the round robin stage. Japan with a 7-2 win on Hungary. Latvia currently playing Switzerland, leading 7-5. And Norway with a 1-point lead on Sweden as well. This is how it looks right now. Korea on top, 9 wins, followed by Canada, 7-2. So it should be Canada playing Russia in the semi-final. Still waiting to see who's gonna be number 4. And of course, and who's gonna go down. Bottom 4 teams will be relegated. And we'll take a look back at the featured game, Russia-Denmark, 7th end. It was Russia with last stone, making some incredible runbacks in the game, or in this end rather, to allow them to draw for 2. In the 8th end, it was a great corner freeze by Matilda Halse. Russia trying to guard it, but couldn't quite get there, so Halse with a chance to come down, make a play on her own yellow to score 2, giving Denmark a bit of hope still. But in the 9th end, Halse coming up shy on both her draws, allowing Rumyantseva, skip of Russia, to promote a guard for the deuce to make it an 11-6 win, and Denmark would have enough.
Many congratulations. A 4 in the first end, but then a close game. Denmark came back at you.
Поздравляю. 4 в первом энде, но потом все-таки более-менее близкая игра. Как так получилось?
Спасибо за поздравления. Мне кажется, что так вышло, потому что сначала команда противоположная играла не очень хорошо, и, наверное, это нас расслабило, и уже дальше продолжали играть не очень собранными, поэтому так получилось.
So in the beginning, we think our opponent didn't really play well, but then catch up and start to do better. And the little bit opposite happened with us, so we a little bit relaxed, and that's why its game became a little closer.
So you now play Canada in the semi-finals. Will you do anything different to your approach to that game?
В полуфинале вы играете с Канадой. Измените ли вы что-то в подготовке относительно игры, которая была в круговом этапе?
Нет, я думаю, мы ничего менять не будем. Единственное, что соберемся и сыграем настолько, насколько мы можем.
I don't think we'll change anything really, but what we will do is we'll really catch up. We'll really try to play our really best.
And the home support, are you enjoying playing in front of them?
Поддержка трибун. Насколько это классно играть перед своими зрителями?
Это очень классно, потому что обычно турниры проходят не в России, и поддержка идет соперникам. А тут своя арена, своя поддержка. Это очень круто.
This is all incredible. This is really incredible. We usually play tournaments abroad, and you see the support for our opponents or other teams, but now it's all on us, and they're really cheering on us, and this is unbelievable.
Oh, many congratulations. Good luck in the semi-final.
Thank you.
A very happy Russian skip, making their way to the playoffs, so we'll see them again this week. Thank you so much for watching the live action here in Krasnoyarsk. We urge you to join us again.